Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and I wanted to tell a story, something I've never told before. Dates back to 33 years ago, and it was one of the most terrifying moments of my life. Interestingly enough, at the time it was not terrifying, but I will go through the whole story and share it with you. This is the first time I've ever really talked about it, and I've never talked about it publicly. I used to go camping with a lot of singer friends out by the Youghiogheny River in western Pennsylvania. And a group of them used to go whitewater rafting. I didn't dare. I knew nothing about whitewater rafting, and I was kind of scared of it. I wasn't much of a swimmer and stuff like that. And they would do it each time, and they kept saying, you should try it, and blah, blah, blah. And finally, maybe the second or third time I went camping, I said, okay, I'll do it. And so I, got my life preserver, and I had got a strap to hold my glasses in place, which was a really good thing after what was going to happen. I'm glad I did that. And we got in the boats and worked our way down, and the rapids were rough. As I said, I had never done it before, and it was pretty terrifying at times, but I was feeling pretty confident. And then we got to a spot called DimpleRock on the Youghiogheny River, which is one of the most dangerous sections of the river. And as we went in, we hit toward the rock and the boat flipped. And the way the water conditions are there, they hold you down. And I found myself on the base of the river, the floor of the river, held down by the waters and the currents. And I couldn't move. But I wasn't what I would say scared, which is kind of strange. I think I was in shock. I think I was too shocked to get scared, if that makes any sense. And as I was laying on my back, I started taking in water. I had to. And I remember my last thought lying on the ground there at the bottom of the river, looking up and seeing the sunshine reflecting on the top of the river above me. And I was saying, it's about 10 feet to the top of the water. That was my last thought, and I blacked out. I don't know what happened after that. All I know is that young men in kayaks found me and pulled me up. I was not aware of it. I was not aware of being on the kayak. I was not aware of being brought in. My first memory is lying on a dock, vomiting tremendous amounts of water. And breathing, which was something beautiful. But this is an amazing thing, and I don't know, and I'd love to talk to people who have been close to drowning and understand how it felt for them. It's a strange thing. I did not have fear. And as my guess is that there was just too much going on for me to be fearful, and I guess I kind of accepted it. My body, in a sense, said, this is it. And I just looked up and said, it's 10 feet, and then passed out. That didn't bother me much. As I said, I got brought up, and when I really got my senses back after vomiting up all the water and stuff, and I, being stubborn, I'm famous for being stubborn. They said, "You want to continue?" And I hopped back in the boat and I did it. And when I finished and stepped on terra firma, I promised myself that I would never, ever do it again. As I said, I was not scared at the time. I'm terrified of it now. I'm haunted by that. It's a strange thing because now, as I think about it, it's terrifying to be held down at the bottom of the river with the currents, not being able to breathe and start inhaling water, or bringing in water, maybe swallowing it. I don't know what I did. I didn't have time to think of anything, if you think about it. So, to this day, I stay away from whitewater rafting. I stay away from rivers. I stay away from any of that stuff because it's a terrifying experience, and I don't want to ever go through it again. And I thought I would talk about this because I never have. And it's an interesting thing, how your reaction is after the event. Like here, 33 years later, I still have a terrible fear of water, in a sense. That I go in, I just don't want to have my head under the water. I get terrified by that. And I guess that's a reaction to that event. So if any of you have gone through situations like that, it'd be fascinating to hear how it was for you. If you felt somewhat the same, or is there a certain point in the time you're lying under there that your body kind of says it's time and gives up? It's an interesting thing. I don't know, but it's really it's a moment that will always stand up as one of the most terrifying moments of my life. And about that's all I need to say. Thank you.